While we appreciate that food safety, security, and safe environment are the basics of human survival, we also recognize the challenges we face to ensure food security and safety, to arrest the malnutrition of many remotely placed small landholders, rural community, indigenous tribal groups in particular. The small landholder farmers, particularly the tribals of dry land and rain-fed areas, are facing the brunt of degradation of natural resources that is threatening their food and livelihood security. Lack of sustainable livelihood, lack of means for sustainable agriculture. The situation is getting further aggravated with the threat of climate change. Of the many factors causing climate change adding to the war, some of them are deforestation, loss of biodiversity, soil and water pollution, and extensive use of non-renewable fuel. While many initiatives, actions, programs and projects are being taken all over the world by the government and non-governmental organizations, worth mentioning are the efforts and endeavors of Ibrad, Indian Institute of Biosocial Research and Development. Established in the year 1985, Ibrad has contributed significantly in the field of involving the community in sustainable forest conservation and sustainable agriculture management for livelihood. Decades of study by Ibrad on the challenging issues of forest conservation, joint forest management in particular, sustainable livelihood, revealed that any kind of natural resource-based livelihood and sustainable agriculture cannot be successful if it is planned through any single sector like forest or agriculture or water resource or any other, ignoring the concept of agro-ecosystem. Moreover, the smallholder farmers cannot survive by managing only one sector or resource like forest, water or livestock. Rather, they have to diversify their livelihood by using different natural resources like forests, agriculture, water body, livestock available in their vicinity. Produce their own fodder for cattle. Smallholder farmers neither do have large piece of agricultural land available nor the access to critical inputs of agriculture like irrigation water, fertilizers and pesticides. Hence, intervention strategies are to be made to improve the productivity of whatever available land they have in their homestead or field and develop their capacity to produce their own inputs for producing the crops based on locally available resources, so that they would have both access and control over the critical inputs of agriculture and horticulture production. Understanding the interdependent relationship among soil, water, agriculture, farm, livestock, and forest will help in the planning for the sustainable agriculture.
For the food security and safety of the food, what we need sustainable agriculture. That means the agriculture should be brought for today and tomorrow for the next generation also. What happens? Often we plan the agricultural practices based on what agricultural land we have and what kind of seed or manure or fertilizer you have. This will not make sustainability of the agricultural crop. What is needed? It forms the complete agro-ecosystem. That means with the agriculture soil, the rich soil with the microbes, manure, healthy soil will need water. That means with the agriculture field, the water body around either could be from any source for irrigation. Once the agriculture land, soil and water is there, the agriculture sustainable depends on the biodiversity. That means variety of seed, variety of plant and number of insects, pollinators for a good sustainable agriculture. For that, the forest around the agriculture field have rich biodiversity, the pollinators which will help in the agricultural product. And the livestock, you see, these days the farmers are considering the drought livestock as a burden, but they are the capital. The livestock produces the dung which will be used for the manure. So the interdependency of the agricultural field with the water body, with the forest biodiversity and livestock, that completes make the ecosystem for sustainable agriculture system. What happens? Often the foresters will manage the forest ignoring the agriculture field. The agriculture sector, they will never care what kind of biodiversity are there around the forest. So there is no communication between the forest officials and the agriculture for an integrated landscape management. Ibrad proposes to have the identification of the landscape and then integrated landscape management for agriculture by involving all the sector.